Hey everyone, Mr. MC here. Welcome to the 2021-2022 FIA Manufacturer Series exhibition season. And since this is an exhibition season, I'm going to meme things up with the BMW M4 Group 4, which is actually a good Group 4 car. But I'm going to really meme things up with the BMW Z4 Group 3, which is, it's okay when it comes to the turns, but after that, when it comes to straight line speed, it's horrendous. But anyways, let's go ahead and go on over to the lap guide. So I have the brake balance at +3 or 3 to the rear. We're on the racing soft tires as well. Take this first right turn flat out, but bring yourself towards the right, and your first braking point is just as the red area on the right starts. So brake hard for a while, slowly ease off of the brakes as you turn in. Do a little bit of throttle control because you need the car to rotate through the second part of the chicane and then fully accelerate. You might need to do a little lift on the throttle through this right turn, don't cut too much into it, and then brake just as the grass on the left starts. So brake hard for a while once again, ease off of the brakes as soon as you can because you need the car to rotate, get it pointing towards the next section of the track as soon as you can, and then mash on the throttle. Then just as you pass the barriers that are on the right, that's where you want to use just a little bit of braking. You just fine tuning the car, slow down for this left turn so you can take the rest of the S's flat out. Yeah, you just want to be a little careful here, get the timing of your turn-ins right so you don't end up touching the gravel or the grass. And then bring yourself towards the left and you're braking at the 150 meter board just as the curb on the left starts. So brake as much as you can for a while, ease off of the brakes as you turn in, take advantage of the curves, and gently get on the throttle as you don't want to hit the curbs on the left too early on. This first chicane can be taken flat out, but for the chicane of death, you want to do a little lift off of the throttle. So just as you pass the digital flag or the marshal stand that are on the right, that's where you want to turn in, little lift off of the throttle so the car can rotate a bit more, and just try to take the chicane of death in as straight of a line as possible, especially if your car, like the Z4, isn't too tolerable with those curbs. Finally, brake before you reach the 100 meter board, brake hard for a while once again, ease off of the brakes as you turn in, try to bring yourself a bit closer to the inside of the turn for a bit more rotation, and then get on the throttle. But anyways, that's pretty much it in this meme tier of a car. Let's go ahead and take a look at the strategies. Alright, welcome to the qualifying section of the guide. For this qualifying session, you only have 5 minutes to try to get a good qualifying time, which means that you'll have 2 chances to try to get the best qualifying time possible. Fuel and tire are off for the qualifying session. This also applies to the Nations Cup races. So you don't have to worry about your tires being worn out on your outlap. You don't have to worry about running out of fuel on your outlap. None of that stuff. So pretty much the moment that you gain control of your car coming out of the pit stops, you can pretty much just start to push right away. And for this qualifying session, which will also apply to the race here at Gran Turismo Seaside, slipstream is king because there's a lot of high-speed sections here at Seaside. So you want to be within 3/4 of a second behind someone so you can take advantage of the slipstream. Your car will go a little bit faster, which means that you'll be able to shave off a bit of time. So if you're within the 3/4 of a second gap between yourself and the next car, you're in the slipstream range and you'll feel your car go a bit faster. And because your car is going to be going a bit faster, you want to be a little more careful when you're braking at the hard braking zones and when you're going through the chicane of death. So just be a little more careful through here. On the hard braking zones, brake a little bit earlier because you're going a bit faster than usual because of the slipstream. And especially if you're in a car with low top speed like the Z4, you're really going to want that slipstream. But anyways, at the end of the day, you'll have 2 chances to try to get the best qualifying time possible. Slipstream is king, especially in the higher split races. And make sure you nail down that chicane of death because oh boy, that chicane of death is really something else. But anyways, let's move on over to the race section of the guide. So we're doing 15 laps at Gran Turismo Seaside with the Group 3 cars. Fuel is a ×2, so fuel is not an issue at all. Tire wear is a ×7, so tire wear is obviously an issue. So you do want to be a little careful about how you treat your tires throughout the race. You only have the racing soft and medium tires, and both tires are required, so make sure you use both tire compounds so you don't get a 1-minute penalty after the race ends. And as you start your race, be a little careful about how you navigate through the first lap, especially as you brake for the first time, because your tires are going to be cold, so you're not going to have all the grip in there just yet. Just be a little careful, brake a little bit earlier, especially for that first turn, so you don't end up punting anyone out of the way, and so you don't end up understeering onto the grass or the gravel because your tires are cold. After the first lap, then your tires should be heated up and they should be giving you the grip that you need. And if you're starting in the front of the pack, start on the racing soft tires to try to get away from everyone else. Take advantage of the slipstream to try to work with other cars with a little bit of bump drafting. And if you're starting in the middle or in the back, start on the racing medium tires so you can get the slower tire compound out of the way. Save the racing soft tires for later, especially when the car is a bit lighter as you've already used up a bit of fuel. In terms of tire wear, the soft tires will last you around 7 to 8 laps, so you're pretty much going to be pitting around halfway into the race, whether you're starting on the racing soft or medium tires. So this is a pretty straightforward one-stop race, switching to the other tires that you haven't used yet, and you're pitting around halfway into the race. So the laps that most people will pit at is around lap 7 or 8. You might see a couple people trying to go for a sneaky undercut, pitting a bit earlier than usual. And while undercuts can be useful, you do want to be aware that if you do go for undercuts, so pitting a bit earlier than usual, you'll be on your second stint for longer than usual, so your tires will be more worn out. So if you do go for an undercut, you want to be a little more careful about how you're treating the car and the tires. And yeah, slipstream, it's pretty useful in this race. You can use it to work with other cars. So for example, Fabricio on the main straight, he was bump drafting me, taking advantage of his car's speed and the slipstream. So we're able to work together for a bit and get a bit further away from everyone else. So slipstream, it can be a very useful tool here at Seaside, so make use of it. It can be useful for teamwork with a bit of bump drafting, and also be useful for getting yourself set up for overtakes. But anyways, going over to the pit stop, I'm saving the recording because I was just laughing my butt off with the bump drafting. But in terms of the pit stop, pretty straightforward. You're only going in for a tire change. I started on the racing soft tires. I'm switching over to the racing medium tires, so I pitted at the end of lap 7 because my tires were already wearing out. And the pit loss here for Dragon Trail Seaside is 17 seconds. So with the pit stops being pretty long, you only want to go for a pit stop just one time. And yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of the strategy. Straightforward one stop. If you started on the racing soft tires, switch over to the medium tires and vice versa, so you can get both tire requirements done. Slipstream is king. Take advantage of it, make use of it for a bit of teamwork and to set yourself up for overtakes. In a moment we'll talk about the places to overtake and the penalty serving zone, but I just want to show the racing times or the total times that I got. So my total time here was a 24 minutes and 54 seconds, so around a 25-minute race. So this race, not too long. But anyways, places to overtake and the penalty serving zone. Main straight, really great place to get an overtake done, especially with the use of slipstream. And Seaside has quite a few places where you're going at really high speed, so it's going to be a bit easier to get yourself set up to go for some potential overtakes. This turn right here, so this hairpin, it is possible to go for an overtake, but it's going to be a bit more situational. Here is the only penalty serving zone, so just at the end of sector 1, so you don't lose too much time if you have to serve a penalty. After the S's comes the next best place to go for a move, and it's going to be going down this hill. You're going at really high speeds once again. Take advantage of the slipstream, get the inside line, and it is possible to go for a move and potentially take a position. After that, you want to go in a single file line, because the last thing you want to do is go through the chicane of death going too wide or whatever, because if you're battling it out through the chicane of death, then there's going to be disaster and a lot of people are going to be in tears. But anyways, last best place to go for a move is the final turn. So lots of high speed sections here at Seaside, which means that there's a lot of places where it is possible to go for a move. But anyways, that's pretty much it for the guide. Straightforward, one stop, switch over to the tires that you haven't used yet. So I'm going to go ahead and meme things up now. Thank you guys for the support. Thank you for 14,000 subscribers. Really awesome to see you guys with the awesome support. And thank you to Playseat for supporting the channel as well. So that's all from me. This is Mr. MCA, memeing things up, and I'll see you in the next video.